Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I'd like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self, on TikTok 1974 and Like Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. Before I get started, I kind of want to put it out there and ask if any of you have on TikTok an agent, and if you do, if you could actually kind of tell me what it actually is like to have one. I was asked, or an agent offered to, like somebody offered to be my agent. I don't really know if it works. I'm a little reserved on it right now. I know that sometimes our TikTok videos, they tell us that we have to replace our music, because I did a video just before coming on here, and they were censoring my music, okay? And it wasn't the radio, it was just like a frequency, very low frequency. And I know they weren't trying to censor the music or replace the music. They wanted to stop what I was saying from getting out. So whoever is in charge of censoring people and saying that it's their music in the background, seriously, you know, we're supposed to be living in a democracy where free speech, 144 on the timer, okay. So today I'm sad, like my life is titled "Let's Be Real." Okay, let's be real, because a lot of people, they can't be real a lot of the time because they're afraid of saying what's on their mind or speaking their truth. Okay. This weekend, well, tomorrow is Remembrance Day. Okay. And I've been hearing, like on different videos and what have you, that in certain schools or what have you, that people were told that you're not allowed wearing your uniforms. Seriously. To the ones who instructed that, who the fuck do you think you are? These are the people that fought for you? Be ashamed. And they say shame is the worst thing. Well, you ought to be ashamed, just so you can figure that the fuck out. I'm telling you right now, when you tell somebody to do that because you're worried about somebody else getting their fucking nose out of joint, shake your head, man, lady. It's despicable. And that's why you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And I'll say to the people that didn't wear their uniforms, well, I'll ask you, why? Why didn't you say fuck you to that system and all of you walk in there with a uniform on? It's not being disrespectful. What's being disrespectful is the ones telling you that you can't wear your uniform in memory and out of respect. People may not like what I have to say. Oh, well, people may come in my channel and say, oh, you're too aggressive. Oh, well, maybe you're too fucking polite. And that's why people get walked over. So tomorrow's Remembrance Day. Okay. And I actually went in and was checking pensions, because when I did a video earlier, I was talking about like the government and how we're coming into different forms of elections. 444 on the timer. I'm seeing a lot of 444 and 44 and 144. The fours are very significant in angel numbers. was watching a different thing where it was saying that, oh, people that look at crystals and see the stars and numerology and looking into different forms of what people would call, like with meditation, yoga. To some, that's taboo. That's not of God. Fuck, it's not of God. Sorry, sorry, you can be perturbed with me. I really don't give a shit. Okay? Because I went to church today, okay, and I had a remembrance day thing. Okay. I mean, a lot of the time, church irritates me because they say that they're for the people, but they're saying about different religions. Okay. So I started and I informed them today about my ancestral line, about there being a lot of religious seals. Okay. And I said about like a lot of my male ancestors are rabbis. Okay. So she said, so like you're gonna, because I said that, I kind of want to, I got accepted to university and I'm thinking about doing religious studies to kind of get a better idea of where everything's coming from. And she asked, she said, so you're going to take up like the Jewish faith? And I just looked at her, I was like, no, I'm not taking up any specific faith because I see it all. Okay. Last year, Remembrance Day, I believe they weren't allowed to say it, they weren't allowed to pray. Seriously? What happened to like freedom of prayer, freedom of religion? I read it in the criminal code. Excuse me, not. I read it in the criminal code with regards to our freedoms, religion, everything. It's all in there. So it's a part of who are the ones saying that you can't do this and you can't do that. Okay. Because it's looking into everything, because it's not just Canada that has Remembrance Day or that form of remembrance. It happens all over the world. So it's like whoever got the bright idea to start censoring it now, who the fuck do you work for? Seriously. I'm not being ignorant. I'm asking. And, I can feel that in my heart. So if somebody's got their nose at a joint, because it's wrong. But some people just they don't care. As long as their needs are met, they don't care about what others feel or believe. If you want to celebrate Christmas, celebrate. If you don't. Remembrance Day. Remembrance should not be one day. Remembrance is every day. Because there are family members that never came home. And there are family members that come home with lost limbs. Or they suffer from terrible mental health because of PTSD. I can see where people would be aggravated and pissed off because of what schools did. Like, it's that part, one school, it was the principal. Who's your fucking authority? I don't care if you think you're principal. You should be answering to the people because you do work for the people. No, you don't work for the government because the people pay the fucking government. So you work for the people. Because if it weren't for the people paying taxes, well, I guess you'd be shit out of luck, wouldn't you, for pay? You say private. Well, how many people can actually afford private right now? But that was very disrespectful, not only to those people, but also to their like with regards to their ancestors. I was looking at the pensions. Because there's a lot of medically released and retired veterans that are royally getting screwed. I was watching this one woman, and she was saying about it, about what happened. And at one point, she didn't seem too serious about it. And then I started feeling her heart. And I could feel it crying. My ex-husband was in the military. My oldest son's father and his father before him. My ex-husband's grandfather. In my family, not that I'm aware of, not because we didn't want to fight. We fought another, like it's a veteran is somebody who goes to war, whether it's in a physical war or a spiritual war, because it becomes a war on the psyche. And that's what being in the military does. It's a major, it's a war on the psyche because you are beat down. And then they come out, and a lot of them don't know how to survive in civilian life. And it's not like it's not just within the military, it's within any affiliated forces that are said to be peacekeepers. But if you're going and you're shooting people and you're tasering people, yes, we need a form of, how do I explain, taking care of the injustice. Okay? Yeah, they're trying to shut me down. Okay? Sometimes, like if I end up going upstairs and I wake my ex-husband up, do you know how he's reacting? He's reacting where he starts to swing. Because when he was in the military, they'd wake you up very abruptly. You always had to be on a high alert. So that creates an anxiety. And with, yeah, okay. And, yeah. And with Remembrance Day, those people fought, not only fought physically, but they also fought for the mental sanity. I met a man who's a veteran, and he suffered from massive PTSD. It's hard to get mental health, very difficult. I just got asked, are you going to on the services? I live right next to a place where they have service. So I can just walk out my door and be there. But you know what? I chose to answer that question, and I didn't have to. You know, we look at it and we say, well, you got your good side and you got your bad side. Yes. But didn't their families fight too? It's a legitimate question. I'm not picking sides. Is each side is guilty of one thing or another. But people don't want to see that. It's on my coat. You know, to come in and ask me about my pin, you don't have to wear a pin to have remembrance because it's in the heart. It's thanking the veterans, and I thank them. And a lot of them are like, some of them are frustrated right now because they look at our country. Right now, my body feels like it's on fire. So if you're on here and you're in my videos and you're a veteran of any kind, thank you. I'm thanking them for putting themselves out there on the front line. Because they should all be knighted. Not a singer. Because they're the true knights. They're the ones out there putting their lives on the line for the people. Like, telling your story. Because I'll be honest, I don't see where the system helps them. It's like you use them and then you throw them away when they're no longer any use to you. You give them a few dollars. A lot of them don't even get recognized for what they do. See, one's in an office, not really doing anything, just, reading off a teleprompter because, they're told what to say. Sometimes, in some cases, you can actually tell that they got something shoved in their ear and they're repeating what they're being told to say. Hey, it's that part, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I know that right now there's one trying to silence me. My channel's Spirit to Spirit. Heart to heart. That's what spirit to spirit is. Heart to heart. And that spirit, that heart, knows who I'm talking to. I'll tell you. Okay. My channel goes everywhere. Let's get real. Okay. I can read energy, feel energy by looking at a picture. Just even looking at a picture. Okay. It was so intense. And when I started explaining what I experienced, I actually started getting teared up. Okay. I was going through some stuff on TikTok, and a picture of Donald Trump's young fellow come up. And it was like, holy crap. It was like, it was almost a cold feeling, a loss. It was like almost like a mind controlled, warped. It was, it was almost a darkness, like a cloud over him. It was like something you'd see with a person who had been being abused, manipulated, and neglected. And a lot of people can actually resonate with that. So you can actually probably understand where I'm bringing that. And, some people on here that, you're all for Trump. Do you know his personal life, or are you going by what you read? And that's the same as Trudeau, Pivlier, or Pierre Polier, or however you pronounce the name, or the NDP guy, and I'll tell you, I was watching another video, okay, because I think there's a lot of not just corruption, but blackmail going on, okay, because I was watching the sort of meeting, a little bit of the meeting between Donald Trump and the Ukraine Prime Minister, I think he is, and I was feeling an intimidation there. It was almost like a blackmailing. That's what I was feeling. And if people want to get their nose at a joint because I'm expressing that, do what you got to do. He said, "Toto prie." I'm not going to send that back to you. Because there's a lot of different talk right now. A lot of stuff up in the air. There's been so much lip service, whether, people want to believe it or not. It's that part of, do people remember things? Okay. It's with anyone. See, it's veterans get used and abused. And there's no real recourse for them. They go in, they get used and abused, and then a lot of the time, some come out and it's like they're still in the military and they treat you like you are one of their pupils. I know because my ex-husband, sometimes he does that. And it's like, excuse me? I said I'd never be able to be in the military. I'll fight as a warrior for the people. Because I'm not a soldier. I don't stand at attention. Oh, I am capable of taking orders. But I pick and choose what orders I'm going to take. And it's not about taking orders. That's why, some will say, oh, well, you're disobedient. Disobedient to a system. Are there laws that we need? Universal laws. Because it's all about morals and common sense. So, hands off, and I know that sometimes we feel that force. We need force. Donald Trump said that you can't talk to the enemy. So, because you can't get anywhere with the enemy, you make your allies pay their portion. That's the video I watched. You make your allies pay the enemy's portion. Seriously? So I have to say, are they paying your portion? For the allies? Because, everybody should be paying, but this tax stuff, I'm going to say it like they fought for our freedoms and what have you. Okay. And most of them, especially like in Canada, most of those ones that fought for the people came from the Maritimes, the Atlantic provinces. Okay. In the Atlantic provinces, the Maritimes, they're the poorest in the country. But yet they have natural gas and they have the fishery. No offense to Albertans, but Alberta says about giving us money. Well, shouldn't have to be giving us money because somebody else is fucking taking the money that we should be having. The Maritimes should be extremely wealthy. And, I got no respect for the government officials because they don't do anything for the Maritimes for the most part. And don't say they do because they don't, because the Maritimes pay the most fucking taxes. So if the Maritimes are paying the most taxes, but they get very little out of it, where does most of the money go? Most of the money goes to the rich provinces, does it not? And it goes to the ones, no offense to people from Quebec, but, I heard talk of, they were saying that they want to separate from Canada. Alberta wants to separate from Canada. Seriously. The people from the Maritimes, Atlantic provinces, go out and vote for war to protect what you class as your fucking assets. and you tell them they're worthless and a piece of shit and they don't deserve anything? And don't say you don't say it, because I heard many of you say it. And you can make my head buzz. You can do whatever you want. Pop my fucking head right off. I stayed in Alberta for a few months. And wow, the ones I lived with, I know I ended up with men. With all men there. And I was very fucking uncomfortable. I ended up calling the police because I was afraid being there. Because I had a blanket up at my door because the door was like glass, kind of like just a little bit of a frosted glass. And I had a blanket over my door. And the man that owned the house told me I couldn't have my blanket up to the door. I even laid traps with regards to him coming in my room. And he was going in my room while I wasn't home. I felt that. And that same person, okay, I'll be honest, because he had some good points. He said he used to be security for Trudeau's father. He said that Trudeau's father was extremely abusive to the wife. But, the cops wouldn't do anything. And he wasn't allowed. Seriously. And people wonder why women are so far in their masculine. It's because they're always on high alert, protecting themselves. Feminine. Gender neutral. They go fight for those forms of freedoms. They could be good people when they leave and come back extremely abusive. Because abuse creates abuse. And people say we need war. Seriously. It's not about making a deal. It's about sitting down and sorting through the fucking shit and getting to the bottom of what actually created the problem in the first place. I had somebody tell me that Donald Trump is a good businessman. Is he? Because, according to other stuff, he's not a real good businessman. And, his daddy gave him $1 million to start his first business. A lot of people don't have that luxury, do they? But the ones that fight for us, we all pay taxes. They're taking your money. They're bailing out big businesses, big corporations. Meanwhile, the little people suffer. How many people have lost their small business, especially in the past 4 years, have lost their business? Meanwhile, these big fucking corporations thrive. Weren't your veterans fighting for you, not corporations? Well, they were supposed to be. But what they didn't know is what you were actually fighting for was tribal corruption. And I know you're fucking with my algorithms. And I know you're trying to fuck with me. You said the duty is bring it. You know, it's okay. I died more than once. And I mean, in this world, in this physical aspect of it, died in a car accident. I don't know how many times I died or had near death experiences. When I was 2, my like somebody was like there was a medication in my parents' drawer, and at 2 I got out and I took it out thinking it was candy, and I ate it. My uncle come in and seen a 2-year-old with their eyes rolled in the back of their head. I was told I was in a coma for 24 hours. But when I got home, I was so excited that I was running and jumping around and everything like that. And I fell and split my head open. So I had to go back to the hospital. We are resilient. See, veterans are there, and they're there because they believe that they're fighting for our freedoms. They believe that they're fighting for our well-being, for our health. But they're getting screwed. They're seeing something in the front. They're being distracted in the front. Meanwhile, they're getting fucked from behind. And they get no real appreciation for it. Told, oh, you can't pray, or oh, you can't wear your uniform. I really mean it. It wouldn't have been disrespectful to anybody if you all had to just put your uniform on and went anyway. That's the thing. There was no true authority. So why did you listen? And it's not about respect, because the respect would have been not telling people they couldn't use or wear their uniform. That's abuse of authority. You know, all the ones that put that into place, I want to know, are the repercussions for them? Because you shouldn't be in a position of authority, because you abused it. And if someone higher up told you you had to do that, you know, they can't blackmail you or hold anything over your head if you step forward and be upfront and honest, because, you know, people will be mad, but it's that part of knowing it takes a lot for someone to come forward and say they're wrongdoing, instead of hiding them. And then people find out. I told my youngest son back when he got in trouble because he took Yu-Gi-Oh cards from a kid, a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He got in trouble, but a girl stabbed him in the leg with a pencil and left the graphite in his leg, and nothing was done about it. You know, people are trying to stand up to bullies, but, you know, the ones in power say, oh, well, you can't stand up to the bully, when they're the fucking bullies. Our veterans are out fighting, trying to fight against the bully. See, the thing is, the bully is not halfway across the world or on the other side of the world. The bully is in your own country. They send you, go away. Meanwhile, your families are being bullied back home. You know, if they want to play their fucking army games, you know, why don't you go play with each other and leave innocent people out of it? But oh wait, you don't want to do that because there's no fucking amusement for the narcissistic, abusive people who like to be dictators and in power. They didn't like that. Dito to be truth or type. Isso como que era. Isso tudo dito. Isso lhe quiseram muito em nome dessa. Até PDI. You know, I'm in a course thing. And the instructor asked the other day, what does fear mean? Well, fear means false evidence appearing real. Because how do you control the people? You put fear into the people so you can say, I'm your savior. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Are ya? Because I have yet to see any of you fucking do anything that you said you're going to do. And if you do, it's the bare minimum. And then you say, oh, well, we can't no more. That was the same as the Truth and Reconciliation for the Native community where you gave them money and then you took 80% of it back. What? Want to make it? Oh, we're going to look good for the camera. This isn't for the people. This is these spirits, the heart to heart. Because I know they're fucking watching. They affect the algorithms. And you know, people say, well, who do you think you are? Like, you're just this person, that person. Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you again, when I read my great granddaddy's will, my sixth great granddaddy's will. And I said about the land. When I went back to search more of the land, it was removed from the land registry. All of it. And not just my great granddaddy's, but other people's too. So take heed to that. And all I had to do was say about his will and say, I believe that it was allodial beads. Don't know what allodial bead is? Go look it up. My nephew one day, I said about it. He just kind of poo-pooed it, and my dad said, yeah, it's real. And when these deeds were done up, it actually come from European countries, because that's how they were doing it then. So, you know, if you had a allodial deed and they go in and steal it, you know, your veterans were fighting for your freedoms of land. But who was fucking taking it from you? Your government and crown. Oh, we own that. Or somebody was killing the people for the land, because I'm pretty sure that my sixth great granddaddy was killed for it. Everybody's looking for treasure. See, those people, I did the research on that. You know, this is part of, you know, being warriors, going in and doing that hard look. You're a veteran to bring forth peace and truth, reconciliation. It's like, I meditate sometimes, but I'm beyond that now. Because in here, there's such a, like, I know they're affecting my algorithms again. So it's right here. The frustration and anger, and it just wants to come out like a freaking wrath. Because I feel that It's like I'm yapping about you. Got a fucking problem with that? No offense, but what's she yapping about? Whatever I fucking please. And if you don't like it, go right back out the same way you came in. You know, you like to come in here and talk to me like that on my own channel? Keep it to tight. I have to say, if you're saying that, it's going to be hitting a nerve. Are you affiliated with them? Like I said, I have no real respect because they give me no reason to. Because none of them really did me any favors. Like it's not the government paying or helping me live. It's the people, and I'm very grateful and thankful, and I appreciate. And you will, and what you put out of goodness, it will come back more than what you put out. It's that part of seeing truth within the lies, within the deceit, within the lip service. Because yes, we do need peace, but it's not by making a deal, because deals are fucking broken all the time. They hold you to your contracts, but they don't follow through with theirs. I'm not here to kiss anyone's ass. I'm here to shake you up, shake you so you can see your own divinity, so that you can see that they're talking about the election right now, about how much money is going out. But nobody ever knows where it goes. And it's that part of, like, they say of how they determine what province gets what. The Maritimes and Atlantic provinces has the oldest generations. I found out that my great Grammy, I believe it was, came from the United States. And it was her father and grandfathers who were the rabbis. And they all had biblical names. So the people are actually fighting a war for corporations. You believe you're trying to help the people, and that's why veterans are frustrated when they see what's going on. And they're saying, like, what we were fighting for. We were fighting to protect corporations. And now some people feel their hands are tied. But is that part of the people need to stand together? It's not about destroying, like, say, democracy or bringing in other things or what have you. It's about everyone needs to work together, and people will say, well, I'm taking this side or I'm taking that side. It's like, seriously? Do you even know what you're fucking looking at or reading or what it all means? Seriously. Because I know just looking at some stuff, it's like it's a major mind fuck. It's like, what? It's worded so that you don't understand what it is that they're fucking saying. Because it's the part of learning to read between the lines. They put in fine print knowing that most people don't read it. Or they have these big, long, fucking 800-page contracts and stuff like that, expecting people to read it. And most people, like, they'll just sign it. But, you know, they'll hold you to your contracts, but how much money do you have to fucking fork out in order to hold them to theirs? And then you end up going bankrupt because you can't. Because they have unlimited amounts of money at their disposal to fight you. But you bow, oh, please help us. I'm not mocking you. Help starts with you. Not expecting others to go out and fight our battles for us. It's about fighting the battles and then coming together and standing together. You know, it's opening the eye. But that's taboo. Oh, that's the snaker. That's the work of the devil. That's the work of Lucifer. Oh, you're aggressive. Good. Because I'm loving and I have a heart. And I say, like, you know, come on, people. You know, you bow to people who have billions of dollars having freaking parties and everything. Meanwhile, you're fucking starving, homeless, going without clothes or heat, no food for your fucking children or diapers to put on your babies, living in fucking tents on the side of the road or freezing to death. They should be doing what they're saying before they even get into fucking government. Oh, here, I'll give you some lip service. You know, let's go fishing. With the fucking bait on. Oh, what's the bait? Oh, we're going to give you a raise of $10. But yet, behind your back, we're going to claw it back in another way and say, oh, well, you know, we've got to pay this much more in taxes. People don't like me, that's fine. Good if I'm a mouthpiece. We need more of them. Because it ain't being a mouthpiece. You only say a mouthpiece because truth hurts. And you know that it's true. Doesn't matter if people are seeing anybody write or comment. Psychotic, psychically connected. You're fucking right. Psychosis. Well, the psychics were, calling out to each other for help. Psychic SOS. Some say psychopath, a psychic empath. They like to play on words. Let's play back. There's a difference between being a psychopath that's connected as a psychic empath. As opposed to someone who just wants to come in and give you a bit of lip service so that they can look all high and mighty and they're your savior. Think about, like, you talk about Jesus, Yeshua, however you refer to him, but yet you worship, and I love Trump. Or you love Justin Trudeau, or you love Pierre Poilievre, or what have you, because they're telling you this is what we want to do. Well, start fucking doing it. Instead of saying this is what you're going to do, you know fucking well that you're able to do what you say you're going to do before you get in power. You just don't want to do that. I don't care if they like me or not. Politics and religion and politics. But yet people just want healthy food. They want a home to live in. They want medicines that's not hurting them. But they just want to stand up in front of the camera. Oh, well, it's not about what one person's going to do. It's what people are going to do together. It's making the difference, making the change together. And that's what the veterans were doing. That's what the ones that are out there doing now. The corruption keeps you fighting. Keeps you saying, like, oh, because I'm going to have my nose on the joint because somebody's wearing a uniform. Wear your uniform every day and be proud. Proud of wearing your uniform. Whether you knew that you were fighting for corruption or not. Because you were under the impression that you were fighting for corruption. Affecting my algorithms again. See? It's part of trying to shut the people down because you don't like what they have to say. A lot of people are trying to sort through things. So, if you keep the people fighting, they can't talk to one another to realize that everybody is, most people are actually saying the same thing, only they're wording it differently. This is just how I see it. And I'm allowed to speak. I'm allowed to ask the questions, which some people think that you shouldn't. You should just go with the narrative of what they say, because just because they say it, it's got to be gospel, right? Experience don't mean shit, hey. Where's the science? The science is the fucking experience, whether you've seen it happen or not. It irritates me when people think that others shouldn't be doing anything, okay? I have different things around my home that resembles different belief systems. I even have a Jewish candelabra thing. If you're hurting people with what you're doing, it's like, what journey are you on? If we all come in here with the purpose to experience certain things, sometimes we come in to experience certain things and we get caught up in certain things and we forget what we came here to, what we came here to actually do, and that's to make the world a better place. People say heaven on earth. Heaven on earth starts with each individual person to create a heaven on earth. I had somebody say about Trump, oh, he talks about God all the time. So just because somebody talks about it doesn't mean that they believe in it. Maybe they're just like, giving lip service and trying to relate with the people so that you can get their votes. Who knows? He's been told only God should judge. And I did a video and said, your spirit is your heart. Your heart is what does the judging. Your mind sees it. Your mind gets programmed by things, but your heart is what feels it and experiences it. The mind controls most frequencies. You feel it in your body, but first it goes to the head. I had somebody say the other day, I believe that they may be autistic or have autism. They put a medical label on it, but they put it as being a mental thing, but it's actually an auditorial thing. Hence, autistic, autosensitive. You're sensitive to all the frequencies, the white noise, everything going all on at the same time, so you can't calm and sit with yourself and just calm your brain because you can't get yourself out of your head. Take yourself out of your head, put yourself in your heart. Bring yourself back into your body. And you'll start seeing things from a different perspective. Because then you'll start seeing your truth. You'll start seeing your worth. So I'll say it again. Thank you, veterans. Ones that fought and died, and the ones that are in there now. Or feeling like they want to go. Just because I've never been in the military or because I was never a teacher or never a doctor, because I was never a politician. What do I know? I know right from wrong. Sometimes, make some wrong decisions, but is it a wrong decision or is it something that I have to? You know, with what's happening, yes, I do believe Justin Trudeau, you should resign, or there should be an election now, not moved forward, because according to the criminal code, they're only supposed to be in a maximum of 5 years. But they produced COVID, and it was said that it came from a university in Canada. They produced COVID. So what did it do? What did he do then? Quick election, right? Where did they get the power? Where did they get the authority to do that? So whoever it is in the NDP, I heard you ripped up a contract for show, and then you stitched it back together. Taped it. People, how is that a legal binding contract now? It's been torn up, whether it's taped together or not. Didn't like that, hey? It's the same as if you have a contract and something's changed in the contract and it's not initialed, or something changes and the person's not aware of it. The contract becomes null and void. It's like, what are they holding over your head, man? People? Like, are you all in something together? And, I have to ask, was your palm greased? Were you given some hush hush money? I'm allowed to ask these questions. And I'll say, like, if it gets your nose to a joint, then it must be hitting a nerve, and it must be hitting some truth. But yeah, queremos fluir. People want peace. You hear it. Don't want any more negativity or anything like that. That part, then if you don't want no more negativity, then why are you treating other people like a piece of shit? What, you don't want negativity in your life, but you want to make everybody else's life miserable so that you can appear happy? It's like what it the power, okay? Power stick. I use it for walking. And then I just kind of wheel it around sometimes and look at the form. Sometimes I'll take it and I'll go through the woods like this. And then just, if I get angry and frustrated, when I'm out walking, I just take it and just throw it. I just don't want people to let or leave the veterans wondering what they were fighting for. Because their intentions were to fight for you. And we're the ones that are disrespecting. No. This one was called Let's Be Real. Someone saying bleeding heart. Do you know what a bleeding heart is? A bleeding heart is somebody that has watched the bullshit for way too fucking long, and now they're coming out fucking like a raccoon, fighting for other people and they're young. Queria tudo ouvir yesterday. Isso que eu poderia escrever, mas nem sequer. Eu tudo ouvir. Que se tratarem em segundo, mulher, tudo queria é tudo bem. Yep. Ha, 111. Queria ser tutorial. Begin with the end in mind is based on the principle that all things are created twice. All things are created twice. There's a mental or first creation and a physical or second creation to all. You create in the mental. You can create fear and you can create happiness. And when you create it within, what you create within is what you create in the exterior, in the physical. So you are your creator. You are the creator. Are you going to create peace? Because you're going to find it within. You've got to clean up your mess, clean up your chaos. And a good start is by cleaning up your home, your physical home and your internal. Great opportunities to help others seldom comes, but small ones surround us every day. With that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting and willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self. Be true to yourself, be true to others, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. And always remember that you have more strength than you can comprehend at times. Sending you all love. Hope you have a great weekend. And remember tomorrow. The ones that lost their lives, the ones that are sorting their lives out, and the ones that are still up. Love you all. I'm good, thank you.